What is up, guys? Welcome to another episode in the channel. And on today's Service Call, what I'm going to be showing you how to do is how to replace a bad electric heat strip kit on a package heat pump system. We found this heat strip kit bad last week. We had to order it, so we're going to be replacing that heat strip kit today. So if you want to see how I do it, stay tuned and I'll see you at the furnace. All right, this is the unit that we're replacing the heat strip kit on. It's one of these old piece of junk Maytag units from back in the day. What first thing we're going to do, we'll go ahead and go over to our disconnect panel. We're going to turn the breaker off to that, and I went ahead, and this is the panel here that our heat strip kit is located, and the heat strip kit is positioned right here at the unit. So basically how these things are set up, you really only got 4 screws. You got one here, one here, one here, one out at the bottom. You take those screws out, you can slide those heat strips completely out and take them out. So we'll go ahead and get our new heat strips out of the box first, and I'll let you take a look at those, then we'll start taking this loose. Okay guys, here's our new heat strips, and as you can see, our new heat strips that we ordered are a little bit different. This one comes with 2 contactors in it, and here are the wires that need to be connected up. So basically these wires run, I don't know if you can see, back through that little hole. We'll come around to the front of our unit, and you can see the wires exit here, and our high voltage 240 volt goes to this terminal block here, and then we have this Molex plug to connect our heat strips up. So what we will do first, we're going to mount our heat strips in, get everything secure, and then we'll go ahead and start running our wires. And probably the best thing to do to get this is to take the screws off the top. We can lift this side up, run everything through, and get everything connected. That's probably the easiest way to do it. Okay, I hope this is positioned in a way you can see it. So what we're going to do is we're going to first take out our 4 5/16 screws. I have just a plate here. Okay, there's our 4 screws out. Now when you take the, well, there's one more here on the side. Remove that as well. When you do that with these heat strips, you can just pull them straight out. And you can see here, this is your coil of your electric heat strip. And you can see what happened to the heat strips. You see how the, I don't know if you can see, yeah, see that, see the coils have broken on this electric heat, and it's not connected up here anymore. And that's one of the most common things to happen on electric heat strip kits. And when that happens, it's pretty much just best just to replace the strip. You know, used to be in the old days, we'd try to restring this stuff. It's not worth it. Just get your heat strip kit. You'll save your time so much on labor cost or whatever, and just replace the strip. Now how this works is you got a contactor here. When there's a call for electric heat, W will be set. It'll close those contacts. It'll send power to our heat strips. This will glow red hot. Your blower will blow air right across these heat strips, and that's how you get electric heat into the house. So we're going to set that over to the side because we still got to run our wires. Let's go ahead and set our new heat strips in. Okay, we got everything in. You got a little hole in the back. Let me pull this out. So you've got this little part here. You've got a hole in the back here, and what you need to do is you need to set that little prong right inside that hole, and everything will go properly. All right, I still hope you can see it. We'll go ahead and slide this in. hard trying to line that thing up where you can barely see it. All right, got everything lined up. So all we need to do from this point, take our 5 screws. Usually always start at the top. That in. Number 2. Number 3. Number 4. And number 5. So everything now is secure. Now we got to go ahead and run our high voltage wires up through there. And like I say, the best, probably not the best, but probably the easiest way to do this is remove them from the top. Doing it that way, we can just take our top, lay our wire through, and hook everything up. So let's go ahead and do that. Hold our top up. Let's get our old wires off first. Our reds, our blacks, and that's our one for the Molex plug. It'll just come up straight through here. We'll throw that down. Get our wire. Tell you, this is hard to do with one hand. We take our wire, we'll lay it through the little cushion so it doesn't mess up our wire. Take our old wire, pull it back through. And that way we can take our old heat strips and throw them over to the side. Okay, so here's our wires that we pulled through. We're going to hook it up. That's where our red was. Hook up our other red wire. Our black. We're going to hook that up. We'll hook our other black. And then basically all we got to do is hook up our Molex plug to here. All right, now that we got our wires and everything hooked up, all we need to do, pop our screws back in the top to get that down secure. Okay, we got everything, got our top back down, we got everything wired up. We want to go ahead and turn our breaker back on. And I've got the thermostat set into emergency heat because this house is being sold, and the home inspector was pretty much saying that the electric heat strips won't coming on. Okay, as you see here, got everything on. Our contactors pulled in. So when you check your electric heat strips, or when you install electric heat strips, just anytime you do a repair like that, you always want to test them to make sure that they're actually working. And how to do that and how to make sure is you check it by your amp draw. Now I've got my meter here. I've got it set it to amps AC. And we've got 2 heat strips right here, you can see. So what we want to do, we set that there, and you can see it's 16 amps. That tells us that heat strip is on and pulling amperage. Let's hook it up to the other one, and we see that one's pulling 15.72 amps. And we can see that our contactors are pulled in, so we know that these heat strips are working fine. So we put everything in. These heat strips are very easy to put in, no matter if you have a well, I ain't gonna say all of them, but the majority of what you do, you usually only have about 4 screws that hold the heat strip kit in. You take those 4 or 5 screws out, you pull the heat strips right out, you install them back in, screw everything in, wire it up. These heat strips are very, very easy to put in. So I just wanted to give you guys the basics to try to show you on this one. And if you could do ones like this, you can do any heat strips. So if you ever get told that your heat strips are not working or something like that, you need to replace a kit, now you know how to do it. So guys, I appreciate you watching. Hope you learned something, and if you did, please hit that like and subscribe button. And as always guys, I will see you on the next service call. Hopefully the next one will be a little bit more complicated than this one, but hope you learned something nonetheless. Bye guys.